3, 2, 1, go.
The recording has started.
Greetings, family. Welcome to another one of your Frank 26 UB Tubies. It's good to be with you. It is the 12th of October 2022. I greet you in agape love. We are KTFalways.com. It stands for Keep the Faith Always in Our Heavenly Father. We're a Christian-based organization. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever should believe in him should not and would not perish. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're talking, we are bringing our Wednesday UB2B, and as you know, it's always an infomercial. And then right after that, we talk about the Iraqi dinar update. Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about a bank that opened up last Thursday in the United States of America. Would you like to talk about it? And before we do, though, I'm going to bring in Sid. Sid is our brother that teaches us about Vollara. Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting to walk into winter. This fall is a precursor of what is about to happen this winter. First of all, it's going to be difficult to get food. Farmers this year could not even afford to plant their crops. That's historical. Normally, the government pays the farmers not to plant. This time, they didn't really have to. Medicine. Medicine is going to be very hard to get. It's not as easy because you know what's happening to medical care and who's in charge of it. And this China virus that's out there is just going to mutate into other issues, other viruses, other problems, other strains. It happens every year. Every year there's something else. It's almost as if someone introduces it. I'm not into conspiracy. All I know is that these things are out there. And we need to be aware of it and aware of how to protect ourselves. But most of all, you need to be aware of it to protect your family. Tonight, we're bringing in our dear brother Sid from Vollara that's going to teach you a lot of things. And I'm going to be holding up some flyers and things. Take your time to listen to Sid. Pay close attention. This is a very valuable, very important UB2B for your survival. Without any further ado, Sid, are you there, brother?
I sure am, Frank.
Hi, Sid. It's good to have you with us. The floor is yours, and I'm going to be holding up some flyers, or not flyers, but some pictures that you sent to me. So I am at your disposal. You start, and then you let me know when you're done, and you let me know when you want me to hold up the flyers. The floor is yours.
Very, very good. Well, go ahead and hold up the first one. I can tell you that our conversation, I had a conversation with Tink, and you and I had a brief one today, talking about what's to come in terms of this winter. And you can see here, this is a reprint of an article talking about the health officials predicting that this winter could see an active flu season on top of potential COVID surges. And the image on the left is a SARS-CoV-2 Omicron virus particle that's replicating in an infected cell. And on the right, you see the H3N2 influenza virus. Now, why is this important? Well, it's because we're not going to know the difference between the symptoms initially. We have to get tested when these symptoms come up. And it's very scary. I can say I went through COVID. It's not pretty. And depending on folks that have pre-existing conditions, it can be quite severe and even, as we know, fatal. And so as I was talking with Tink yesterday, I said, listen, I'm really concerned about what's going on right now. We're coming into a time where people are kind of let their guard down, and I'm just worried that too many people have got their head in the sand. we know that when the ostrich sticks their head in the sand, that the lion eats them. And in this case, the lion are these viruses and and bacteria. It's a real shame, and it doesn't have to be. I can tell you, I started with this ActivePure technology from Vollara in March of 2020. And we, over this period of time, have protected tens of thousands of indoor spaces. I personally have installed these in doctors' offices throughout the United States and Canada. And it's something that we'll look back on this winter and we'll wonder, my gosh, why didn't we do more? Right? Why didn't I take these steps? So let's not be one of those people. Yeah, go ahead and put up the next one, Frank. I'm gonna. That's the same one. Yeah. What I'm going to do is we're going to talk about how to stop the spread with ActivePure. This is protecting indoor spaces and reducing indoor air pollution. A lot of folks don't even really understand about indoor air pollution, but at the end of the day, we've got dust, we've got dust mites, we've got mold, mildew, fungi, bacteria, we've got all kinds of viruses that live indoors. And it's something that the typical air filter simply can't handle. So that's why we use this ActivePure technology. Go ahead with the next one, Frank. ActivePure technology is simply amazing. It's a wonderful technology that allows us to keep our indoor spaces, the air purified, and the surfaces sanitized. So I'm going to talk a little bit about indoor air pollution and why it matters, what we can do to keep our indoor air and surfaces as safe as possible, what is ActivePure and actually how it works and why it's safe, why filtration systems are fundamentally inadequate, what the benefits of ActivePure are, and ultimately who can benefit from it. And then at the end, I'm going to announce a really exciting special that's going to make this affordable for anyone that listens to this, whether it's live now or later. Next one, Frank. The history of ActivePure goes back quite a number of years because it is indoor air pollution is something that was happening in the International Space Station. More on that in a moment. But these are warnings from the EPA and of what the immediate effects of indoor air pollution are. You can see irritation of the eyes, the nose, and the throat, headaches, dizziness, fatigue. And perhaps more importantly, are asthma symptoms that are aggravated or worsened. A lot of these symptoms are similar to colds or other viral diseases, including COVID, so it's difficult to determine if the symptoms are a result of exposure to indoor air pollution or if it simply is a result of being exposed to a virus or bacteria. Next one.
Hey, Sid, I remember, I think it was like about 12 years ago, one of the astronauts opened up a panel in the space station lab, and it was just covered with black mold. It really frightened NASA, but they got some air filters that took care of things rather quickly. I wonder what they were. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the thing that was so interesting is they brought it up there to take care of that and also a problem with ethylene gas, and then they found that the astronauts weren't getting as sick. So you got people from all over the globe up there with different immune systems. These are long-term effects, according to the U.S. EPA, of indoor air pollution, respiratory disease, heart disease, cancer. The scary thing about this is that you might not even have symptoms of these diseases until they show up, and they only happen after repeated periods of exposure. And that's why it's so important to improve the indoor air quality in your home, even if symptoms are not immediately noticeable. Next one, please. So, as we take a look at this problem, we got to have a solution. And the solution is ActivePure. This is a proactive pathogen defense. It creates oxidizing molecules that significantly reduce viruses, bacteria, odors, and volatile organic compounds. Next one, Frank. And the important thing to understand about this is that it's both on surfaces and in the air, unlike typical devices. So ActivePure is in this device that you see on the left, and it has 2 ActivePure cells. I'll show those in a moment, reducing viruses and bacteria, mold and mildew and fungi, and reducing the triggers for allergies and asthma, such as dust mites, and volatile organic compounds. Next one, Frank. I can tell you just a quick story. I did an installation of one of these devices in a woman's house in Detroit this last week, and she told us that after the device had been in her home for a very brief period of time, she got her breath back. She didn't have to take a break when she was bringing her laundry up from downstairs. She could actually sleep through the night for the first time in years, simply because of the installation of ActivePure. Now, these are results that came from scientific tests where ActivePure was tested against SARS-CoV-2, staph, toxic black mold, H1N1, which is the swine flu, bird flu, MRSA, and you can see the list goes on. Next one, Frank. These tests are taken in FDA-cleared labs according to very strict procedures. And the reason that we're able to do this is because of what you see on the screen right now. This is a proprietary technology that's called ActivePure. And what it does, this is one of the cells, is it pulls the air in from the back, and it takes it around a UVC light that mimics the same frequency that comes from the sun, and it converts water molecules into hydrogen peroxide. That's what takes care of the pathogens in the environment, whether it's a virus or a bacteria or mold or mildew. In addition to which, the unit creates supercharged ions that stick to pathogens. Next one, Frank. And it weighs them down so they fall from the air to the surface and then gets coated with the ActivePure molecules. So this is the Air and Surface Pro. It sends out ActivePure molecules at a rate of 10 to 12 feet per second, covering 2,000 square feet in minutes. That's with 8-foot ceilings. And layers of protection are in place, 3 of them. There are filters that are there to actually protect that ActivePure cell, right? It's HEPA and an active carbon filter. There's the ionizer. That's the one that actually causes the particulates matters to clump together and fall to the floor or onto the surface. And then the ActivePure, which is the key ingredient that keeps us all safe and our indoor environments protected. Next one, Frank. So ActivePure is developed in the manufacturing facility in Bristol, Virginia, with the company world headquarters in Dallas, Texas. And it's important for me to share this with you. This is a solid company. These scientific results are the real deal. They're third-party results. This company is here to stay and back this equipment, and that's so important when you make an investment in something for your health. So I just wanted everybody to feel confident that you're purchasing from a company that is right here in the USA and is absolutely rock solid. I personally know the executive team, and they've been guiding the ship all the way through the pandemic. Next one, Frank. We haven't had any supply chain issues. Had to make some changes along the way, but my goodness, it's just been extraordinary. Now, because of the work in the space station and also with the space shuttle, ActivePure technology is one of only 75 technologies inducted into the Space Technology Hall of Fame because of what it does for us here on Earth for indoor air pollution. Other technologies that are in this same category have been honored in the same way are LASIK for eye correction, as well as DirecTV and GPS. So we're in good company. The difference is that we're just getting the word out. I mean, there's millions of installations, but most people still don't know about this, and that's why we're here tonight, to make sure that everyone in the KTFA family does know about it. Next one, Frank. It's trusted, it's absolutely proven, and very, very effective. So here's where it's being used. What you see there on the right, that's actually the 9/11 Museum, and you know what? They've got off-gassing coming out of the ground into that museum, so they use ActivePure to render those organic compounds inert for the visitors. But check this out. Look who's using ActivePure technology. The Cleveland Clinic, Health Canada. As I mentioned, many hospitals and doctors' offices that I've worked with directly, as well as long-term care facilities. I mean, you know that these organizations would not trust ActivePure if it weren't making a difference. The city of Philadelphia actually put one of these devices in every single classroom, 7,000 classrooms throughout the city. And you can see Mississippi State College, Baylor, many, many schools and daycare. Just a small sampling of the businesses like Dunkin' Donuts and Massage Envy, as well as 26 professional baseball teams and a lot more on that front. We have very large installations like the Bach Center for Performing Arts, 350,000 square feet in Boston, Massachusetts. Liberty Bell Museum, hotels, places of worship, government, you name it, we're there. But we're still just scratching the surface. Next one, Frank. One of the most exciting things to me is, go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, it's the last picture. Go ahead.
Okay. So I hope that by now you really are clear that this is something that we all need to have in our homes. And because of the relationship with Frank and Tink and the family, what we're doing in October is we're taking that retail cost, that MSRP of $1,499.99.
Wow.
That's for the Air and Surface Pro, and we're bringing it down by 35%, for a special price of $974.99. We also have installment plans for as low as $74 per month. So please give me a call. My name is Sid. You can see the number there. It's 805-570-3614. Again, 805-570-3614, and get your home protected today. So, Frank, you know, I guess where I want to go with this is to just have. I think most people who've been around, they know that your background as a respiratory therapist. You've had this as you went through your health challenges. I'm just curious, what has it meant to you?
Well, I have a background in biology. I'm a former respiratory therapist, and my son and his wife, our daughter-in-law, they're physical therapists, and my daughter's in sports medicine. So we're all medically oriented, and we know the value of blood perfusing through our body. We know the value of a good diet in order to have our cardiovascular structure to be able to perfuse our blood all around our body. And it's important because our blood carries oxygen. It carries oxygen to our tissues, to our cells, and that's what we are. We're oxygen-breathing creatures. We're carbon units that eat food made out of carbon, but we inhale oxygen. And the two together create what's called a metabolism that allows us to function with a proper homeostasis. But the problem is that there's too much interference. It's kind of like trying to listen to a radio station, and you got all this static from other stations that are interfering. Every 5 seconds, the volume increases, it decreases. I mean, it drives you crazy after a while. But we don't, my wife and I, we have eliminated a lot of that interference in our life by eating better, by supplementing. And family, this is serious. I just told you it's important for our blood to transfer our oxygen to our bodies. But family, That's just one gas. There are many gases, many inert gases, many argon that comes from the basement of your home that's actually toxic to you. You know, the gas company actually, when you smell gas, you say, oh, there's a gas leak. And that's because the gas company puts that smell in the gas lines so you can smell it when it's leaking. Gas does not have an odor. Many gases don't. Some are pungent, some are repulsive and very strong, but a lot of them that you can't smell and you're smelling on a daily basis is toxic to you. That's just gases. You want to talk about mold? We talked about it on the space station when they opened a panel. They freaked out. Are you kidding me? Thank God for Vollara. Fix that problem. Look, I want to show you one of these machines. My wife and I bought this. Now this is the one that will clean your whole house. I'm sorry. Oh, I got it back. I got it backwards. There it is. Do you see that? It's very pretty. It's a very, very, very sleek. Up here, once a week, my wife and I, we just wipe it because it's sucking everything in our house. It's not only from the top, but from the front, and then it shoots it out as clean air. I love this little device. Well, it's not a little device, but it's a powerful device. It's helped a lot of people. It's helped NASA with their astronauts. I think I can trust them. We, as you heard, Sid is offering 35% off, family. That's a very good deal. And they do have a financial program that makes it down. I think it's $75 a month for you to own one of these. So once again, if you have any questions on this, get a hold of Sid. Sid's phone number is 805-570-3614, 805-570-3614, or call me. My phone number is 419-283-2552, 419-283-2552. Sid asked, what did it do for me? Well, it did a lot for me and my wife and my home. You don't think that we can smell a difference? You don't think that we can taste a difference? You'll see. This is a product that you need to consider, not just for yourself to take, but for your whole family, for people to visit your home. What about your pets, your cats, your dogs? You love them, don't you? There's a good way to keep them healthy and possibly even extend their lives. And as you can see, there are many products. Right here, you can see that there are 5 products that Vollara is showing you. One is for your pets. Pretty cool. Put it right next to where your pet is at. And then there's one for the car. There's one for just for a room. There's one that you can wear as a lanyard around your neck. And then, of course, the big ones that we just showed you. And that's what Sid was talking about tonight and telling you that NASA uses it in the space station and all of their missions. It's a good product, family. But it's also a very important product to have. For the last 2.5 years, I went through some very serious health issues. And my wife has recently gone through them. But we know what to do, and we're doing it. And I'm very, very grateful that, Sid, you brought Vollara into my life. I thank you, my dear brother. Any other questions or any final words you wish to say, Sid?
Yeah, I just noticing comments from Zacharias, and Jeff responding back on that. Saying that family members bad energy when she's angry. To help with that, and what's interesting is that the ion generator, what it does is it recreates the same sort of feeling that you have when you're standing next to the ocean or next to a waterfall. Have you ever noticed how good you feel when you're there?
Hey, Sid, why do you think that for the last 33 years, well, except for the last 3 years we haven't gone, why do you think that we go to Hawaii? Hawaii sits in the middle
Yeah.
of the Pacific Ocean. That is the largest ocean in the world. If you were able to see the hydrogen that is coming up from the water, the ocean, the O2 goes into the atmosphere, and so does the hydrogen as the water from the ocean evaporates. But the O2 dissipates, and the hydrogen stays. And if you could see the island of Hawaii, all the islands, you would see a dome, a blue glowing dome that is over the island. And that's why they call it the Aloha Spirit. It's very difficult to get to be in a bad mood in Hawaii. It's very difficult.
True.
It's very difficult. In the 33 years I had maybe two confrontations. I remember one time I opened the door and I hit the guy's car, the door, and I dented it. If it was in New York or Chicago or even in Toledo where I'm from, the guy would have come out probably yelling and screaming. He opens his door and he looks at me and I look at him and I said, "Oh, sorry, bro." He says, "Yeah, got a dent, huh? Hey, $50 cover it?" He goes, "Sure, bro. No, $50 more than enough." And I gave him $50. We gave high five. He went his way, I went my way, and that was the end of that. There's a good feeling with the hydrogen atmosphere around you. And trust me, these machines will produce hydrogen. You want your wife to be in a good mood? I'm not playing when I talk to you about this. This is serious stuff. Hydrogen does affect the mood. It does. The L-dopa, the adrenaline, the epinephrine that the brain produces, it does. I promise you. I'm sorry, Sid. I shouldn't have overtalked.
No, it's okay. The thing that Jeff was saying, though, is that mold can cause traumatic brain injury. I have two friends that
Yep.
the mold crossed the brain-blood barrier, and it's literally that one particular strain, the Aspergillus strain, it eats holes in the brain. That's why it creates that, and we've got to get that out of the air, and particularly in areas that are higher humidity. But it's but my friends, one of them, she got it when she was living out near Sacramento. That's not a high humidity area, and the other one was in Santa Barbara, which is a little higher because it's next to the ocean. Really, one of them ruined their life. The other one almost did, but they caught it in time. So, thanks so much for those comments. And Frank and Tink, thanks so much for the opportunity to really do this outreach tonight. I just really want, folks in this family to be protected. It's within reach. We're doing our best to make sure that financially you can make it happen. Last thing I'll say is that as we're going into this cold flu COVID season, we're going to see this pick up, and it'll pick up probably around November time frame. Don't wait. Get this going. And if you're someone that's struggling financially, contact me. I'll help you get in the business of helping other people with this technology. And it's a very, very affordable business to start. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Frank, and just say aloha.
Aloha to you too, my dear brother. Love you, Sid. Very proud of you and your product. God bless you.
God bless.
Well, family, that was a nice infomercial. I really like the product. You got Jeff here that says, "Mold destroyed my youngest son's sense of taste and smell as well." Yeah, I'm sad. And the odds are that he will not recover from something like that because the sensory nerves, the cilia, it's called, they've all been burnt. They've all been destroyed. You never know. Yeah, he might get it back in time as he gets older. But anyways, I want to thank you all for coming and being part of our program tonight with Volara. And now we're going to talk to you a little bit about the Iraqi dinar. When we were together on Monday, and by the way, everything that I'm about to say is strictly in my opinion, okay? Mute my side, Tank. Everything I say is about our study. It's just strictly in my opinion. And I ask you to take what we share with you to God in prayer. Find out. Find out through the Holy Spirit if what we're telling you is worthy of you. Family, family, the same nonsense that the framework has been spewing for years, literally, but for this whole year is still out there. It's still the same old with the framework. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. So it's the same old, isn't it? When you see something from the framework, when you see something about Malachi, or when you see anything that has to do with Iran, flush it down the toilet. Flush it down the toilet. Now, there was an article that came out today. I kept it away from our forum. Oh, Doris. Thank you, Doris. Thank you for your financial contribution. God bless you. Thank you very much. If anybody wishes to help us with a financial contribution, you can find the little tabs at the end of chat. Family, it's not just for my wife and I, it's for many others. We help when you help. As I was saying, you know what? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, dear me. I have that problem. I still have fog from all the anesthesia. But suffice it to say, oh, you're asking, was Malachi arrested? He was arrested a long time ago. I told you a long time ago. Who's asking that question? Al. Hey, Al. How you doing, Al Schwartz? He's a good guy. He's been with us forever. Al, yeah, he was arrested about 2 weeks ago. And it was about 6 days ago, I think it was 6 days ago, that he was taken to the federal courts. But it was on Monday that I talked about this on our UB2B. And I told you that, unfortunately, the federal court system is Iranian. Unfortunately, the federal court system in Iraq is not only Iranian possessed, but these people that are there, they love Malachi because they love evil. And they're probably going to support him. What they're doing is listening to the recordings. What recordings? You know the recordings that are trying to remove, what is it, 4 people? One did resign, but there's 4 people out in Los Angeles, California, surprise, that said some bad things in a recording. And they were heard and they were caught, and now they're being removed. They don't want to leave. They're stubborn about it, but they will be removed. Well, same thing happened with Malachi. He said some things on a recording, actually 2 recordings, that he should not have said. And that's why he's in front of the courts. But you know what they did? The same thing that our far left is doing here when it comes to murderers. They just slap him on the hand. Don't do that. You killed him? Bad boy. Look ashamed. Okay. Don't worry. No bail, no bail. But you go home now, okay? And you be a good boy now, okay? Okay. And you come back next week, and we're going to try you, okay? Okay. Bye-bye. And then he goes out, and what does he do? He kills someone else again. Might as well get 2 for 1 special. The judge is in a good mood. The same thing with Malachi. Malachi, they're not going to do anything to him. The federal court system is corrupt. What they'll do is they'll look at him and say, "You bad boy. Yeah. You said some bad things about Sadr and Kazemi? Yeah, I did. Did you mean them? Maybe. Oh, okay, well, you didn't say no, so okay, we'll slap you. Bad boy. Maybe spend a week in jail. Maybe clean the back alley. We'll do whatever. Yeah, okay. Bad boy." And that'll be it. But this court appearance is wonderful. Tell me something. Can you elect a person that has been criminally charged? So, yeah, they're just a bunch of knuckleheads. And I wouldn't worry about them. Now, let's talk about the next subject, because I'm going to talk to you about three things tonight. So that was the first one, okay? Was Maliki arrested? Al, I hope I answered the. Oh, sunshine, lollipops, and ding dong. Thank you, sunshine. Thank you, sunshine RV travels. I like that. I'd like to get in an RV and go out west. Ah, and hunt for fossils. Ah, I love doing that. Maybe I'll find my old bleached bones somewhere out there, huh? What's that say? 2-for-1 special, like the blue light special at Walmart. That's right, Bronze. Might as well. Might as well. Anyway, so let's go on to subject number 2. Now, this one is going to require for me to read you some things from Eddie. You see, what happened was that, well, actually, before I go to Eddie, let me read something to you. It's an article. It came out, but there were 2 articles. 2. And they were on the same subject. And there was a little changing of the wording of the translation, and that caused trouble. It caused trouble with Eddie and people in Iraq. It caused trouble probably with you. But you didn't call me. Why? Because I didn't put the article up until just now. But the article, well, you listen to it. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Holy cow, it's oh, come on, I'm not going to read all of this. Hold on. I did, Shirley. I surely did. Claire sent this to me. She said, hey, Frank, there's Sutter, the one you were looking for. There it is, there it is. Oh, hey, Frank, what? Here's another article. Here's another one. There's another one. There's more. Hey, Frank, what? The central bank is changing the what? Changing the what? What? What'd you say? Here we go. Hear ye, Iraqi citizens. The central bank of Iraq is changing the exchange rate. I'm sorry, I said is. No, it doesn't say that. The central bank of Iraq says changing the exchange rate will destroy the economy. What part of stupid are you from, stupid? I mean, yes, but who in the world is talking about decreasing it except for the framework? And they don't even talk about that anymore because they know what the truth is. So, I mean, who are you? Let me see. The central bank changing, we don't know. So I got some idiot that comes out, this is the central bank, Frank. No, it's some idiot talking and saying that the central bank changing the exchange rate will destroy the economy. No! And oh, no! It will blow up the economy in a very positive financial manner. Stupid. Why you want to cause trouble? Let's read the rest of this. Will destroy the economy. Wednesday, the Central Bank of Iraq denied. Wait a minute. I never heard the Central Bank of Iraq say anything today. You're lying. Who are you? The Central Bank of Iraq denied the existence of an effort to change the exchange rate of the dollar. Well, of course, stupid. Of course they're going to deny it. The CBI cannot change the exchange rate of the dollar. Only the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar. Knucklehead. Why do you want to cause trouble? The Bank of Iraq denied the existence of an effort to change the exchange rate of the dollar. Yeah, while warning against the process of destroying the economy and its stability. Yeah, and finish it? What? The CBI warned that if we don't change it, it's going to destroy our economy and stability. But no, you take it the other way around and turn it around completely? What part of the Democratic left are you from? While warning against the process of destroying the economy and its stability, central bank advisor is we got a central bank advisor? But that's not who wrote this article, is it? But you picked this guy out of the blue. What do you want to say that he says? Well, he says, I told the Iraqi news agency that the Central Bank of Iraq is an independent body. And it's an independent body, and the exchange rate adjustment is done in agreement with the government, and there are no efforts now to change it. Hey, stupid. Of course there's no efforts to change the dollar exchange rate. I am so tired of you doing this. You do this constantly, at least twice a month is your average. You put this article out, it gets translated, the Iraqi citizens see it, they get angry, they went out in the streets and they kicked your butt today, didn't they? But there's no article about it yet because, well, you'll see it tomorrow. And there are no efforts now to change it, Yassiri added. He said, and by the way, what he said prior to that, he said, Iraq is an independent body and the exchange rate adjustment is done in agreement with the government. No, it is done in agreement just with the with the CBI. And then he turns it over to the GOI, to Kazemi. You don't even know what you're talking about. He says, the pressure exerted to change the exchange rate are populist. Well, of course everybody in Iraq wants a change. Everybody in the world wants, everybody on Mars wants it. It's very popular. The idea to change the exchange rates is populist. And if the change takes place, it will destroy the economy and stability because, you have a reason? Why? Why? Because the financial and economic transitions and investors built their projects on the price, and it is incorrect to seek to change the exchange rate. You are so full of caca. You're saying the truth, and yet you lie about it at the end. How many times have I told you, family, the countries are out there saying, Kazemi, contracts, tenders, your signature, the new rate, I mean, we rewrote them like you told us with the new rate and everything, and what's up, man? When you going to sit your government so we can have all of this happen? And that's exactly what you're saying and your wordings are. But at the end, what do you say? But the project on the new prices, and it is incorrect to seek a change in the exchange rate. Be careful, family. Be careful with what you read and how it's interpreted. Then he added, changing the exchange rate raised the competitiveness of the local products, and although there are some disadvantages to the consumer, the change process enabled the government to pay the employees' salaries after the state budget was empty. The Central Bank of Iraq had announced earlier that there was no intention to change the dollar exchange rate. Of course not. And the governor of the central bank, Mustafa Galeh, said during his speech earlier at the Al Rafadim Forum, which was attended by Iraqi news agency, he said, in which he thanked the agency for telling the truth to the citizens. He said, the central bank has no intentions to reduce, the change of the dollar exchange rate, stupid, stressing that Iraq is still in its early stage of reaping the positive effects of changing the exchange rate, the one that we did in December, of changing the exchange rate. And there are some negative indicators that he's still working to address during the coming period. Those negative indicators is the framework. There's nothing else. The whole world is ready to pour in. The UN doesn't want to give them Chapter 7. The UN will get screwed. Everybody wants them to pour in. The only negative indicators, some negative indicators. The only negative indicators is the framework. Amiri, Maliki, Iran, all those knuckleheads. So, that's what I wanted to talk to you. In fact, I'm not done with that. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to go back. I don't want to go all the way back. Maybe I'll go back. What's today? Wednesday? We were with I'll just go back yesterday. Yeah, I was with you on Monday. So let me go back to Tuesday today. And hopefully this will help you too to understand that I know what the articles are saying. But ladies and gentlemen, KTFA family, don't let them mislead you like they do to my friend Eddie and others out there. Don't let them lie to you. And be careful with the wording and the translation. Holy cow, this is a long one. Let's start right about here. Agua. Hold on. So, how is what? What kind of nonsense are you listening to? Wayne? Where's Wayne? Oh, Wayne was deleted. Let's see what Wayne says. What does it mean when Mark says Mr. C has to put the codes in for the revalue? There are no codes to put in. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, my goodness. People will grab anything and create. Yeah, that's the truth. And I'm not going to tell you who said it because we blocked it and we don't talk about other gurus. I'm sorry. I mean, that's one reason why we don't. Okay. Here we go. So let's start it yesterday at 8:13 in the morning. Sound good? All righty. Hey, what? Kazemi did a speech. He did. Oh, dear God. Serves me right for horsing around. Hey, what? Kazemi did a speech today praising the work of the CBI. Really? Kazemi praised the CBI? I didn't really. That's good. Thank you, Eddie. Kazemi did a speech today praising the work of the CBI, and when they changed ED, and he said that when they changed the dollar exchange rate, it was great for the country. They talked about the white papers, and he said that the reserves. Did you notice that? And he said the reserves went from 49 to 90 billion, and all because the CBI changed the rate. This is in reference to the Parliament Finance, which is now calling for the CBI governor to come and pay and explain, pay a visit, and explain why inflation is so high. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. The framework is demanding the CBI to come. Come here, talk to me. Tell me why we got a high inflation. Because of you, stupid. And why did you change the rate sometime again to 1460? Could you see? Why did you change the rate for the Iraqi dinar rate? You can't change the American dollar rate. Why did you change it again to 1460? Kazemi standing up for CBI, Frank. For the CBI, the governor said to the framework that it makes like tomorrow we will have names and vote for president. However, we feel that's just a show for the UN. Frank, Maliki was in front of the judge today, Judiciary Committee, for the leaks of the audio of him after his first day of questioning. He was released on bail. Can you believe that, Frank? This all over the TV today, showing Maliki and in front of the committee. However, the leader of this is his best friend. We wonder if anything will be done. But he was there. I told you the cockroaches will always be in the cupboards. They will always be in the walls. Maliki and in front of the committee. However, the leader of this is his best friend, and we wonder if anything will be done. But he was in there today, and he's to be served, and they brought him in, and he came in by his own free will. He stated. Then I said, Eddie, the framework, like we have been telling you, is being totally ignored by the leaders of Iraq. Notice that they keep asking for the same thing, the same meeting over and over again that they never get, do they? As far as the UN, Eddie, they're stupid, but not stupid enough to believe what the framework is telling you, that they are putting together the government. Why do you think that the UN went to Kazemi to put together the government and not the framework? That's a clue. As far as the ongoing with Maliki, Eddie, once again, don't pay attention. Simply ignore it. It's a waste of time and it's a waste of your effort. Let Kazemi and Sadr deal with Maliki, not the courts. We're waiting on more from Eddie, Frank, and Eddie. Here we go. Then it came in. Eddie says that the framework going do a government without solder. Yeah, right. Because he will not meet with them. He's not going to meet with you. And now they're saying that they're giving the Kurds until Friday. Are you, framework? Isn't that so sweet of you? You're so nice. You're so up yours. And now the framework is saying that they're giving the Kurds until Friday on picking their president. They said you had all week. Now Wednesday would be the day that they would want them to pick. Frank, they are such a joke. Friday will come and go. They can't put together a parliament. They can't parliament. I fill in when the words are missing. They can't form a government. Sadr is going to bring fire to the streets if they try this. And that won't be good. Frank, this is yesterday, 5:46 in the afternoon. Thank you again, by the way, for those that are helping us with financial contributions. Frank, framework is showing 33 names for president. 33 names, sir. 3 exclamation marks. Okay. They're not my names, Eddie. Don't pick on me, man. I say, hey, Eddie, the framework is like a walking zombie. It has no life at all. It's just a walking zombie. By now, you are well trained, son, to understand that you are to ignore the framework in the same manner that your leaders, Sadr and Kazemi, are ignoring them. Do you understand? Follow your leaders. Frank, they are going to form a crooked government in violation of our Constitution. Eddie, they can't do that. How many times do I have to tell you? They can form it, but it will have no authority, none whatsoever. The only thing that they will be serving is Satan. You remember that from Saturday Night Live? Who made you do that? Satan. What was his name? Satan. Harvey Carver. Harvey. What was his name? You know him. Anyways, but. Yeah. Who? Harvey. Okay. Federal courts is corrupt too. Eddie says, yeah, I know, Eddie. He says, yeah, but the federal courts are also corrupt. Yeah. They're corrupt everywhere, Eddie. Today, here we go, 8:12 in the morning. Morning, Frank. It's just so confusing here. We hear bad news. Now remember, this is today. And I've already read that article to you and translated it properly to you. And Walking Stick also told me, make sure that they understand there's translation problems, there's lies. Those articles, there's 2 of them. They kind of contradict each other, don't they? Today, 8:12 in the morning. Good morning, Mr. Frank. It's just so confusing here. We hear bad news, and then we hear more bad news. The news, then, we not sure if any of it is true. First, the framework makes like the Kurds have a name and that they have agreed. Then the Kurds say, no, we don't have any agreement with you, framework. And the Kurds say, we still want Chalet to continue as president. Then the framework says, no, no, the Kurds have agreed. No, look at this. So you see the volley, the volleyball game that the Kurds are doing. First they say, or not the Kurds, that the framework is doing. We met with Sadr. Sadr says, no, you didn't. We have an agreement with Sadr. Sadr says, no, you don't. Oh, well, hold on. My bad. We have an agreement with the Kurds. And the Kurds says, no. Well, we have an agreement with the Kurds for their president. We didn't tell you jack. Well, then we want to, can't we just get along? We want to be part of you. No. desperate. And I love it. Because the Kurds have a name and have agreed for the president. And then the Kurds say, no, we still want Shalay, says the Kurds, to continue as president. Then the framework says, no, the Kurds have agreed with us. Then the Kurds say, no, Shalay is our man. Then, Mr. Frank, we see an article today in the Gazette saying the CBI has officially closed the door on changing the dollar exchange rate. Now, as we read it here, this article questions arise about the project to delete the 3 zeros, Mr. Frank. And they're saying that this is a project that needs legislative atmosphere and it needs to be agreed in by the finance minister. None of that is true, sir. The finance minister who works under the prime minister, yes, but the CBI is independent, yes. The new prime minister will have to agree, and then parliament. This is all from the CBI. We always hear that the CBI is independent and that the CBI can do the rate change alone. But today, this article, Mr. Frank, comes out saying that the PM, finance minister, and parliament all must unite and give approval for a rate change. That is not true, Mr. Frank. It's just bad for us here. This morning, the news like today so far is most confusing. This is very frustrating. To which I say, I'm not even going to comment. I'm not. No, I mean, I did. Look what I said. Dude, I'm not even going to comment anymore. Eddie, I'm sick and tired of all the lies and all the tricks, just like you from Iran. They constantly fool you. So once again, I say to you that I have no comment because I've told you 1,000,000 times already. Nothing. Absolutely nothing the framework says has authority. Absolutely nothing. They don't even exist. They only exist in their mind. Then Neil, my contact to Eddie, tried to talk to me, and he says, Frank, Eddie says, it's just that it's all over the television today. It's everywhere. It has become a mess, and we are pouring out into the streets. The streets feel as if we are doomed as the way things look. Nothing can save us but to go back under chapter 7, unfortunately. You can see his depression. You can see how Iran, if they go boo, Iraq still jumps. When you're scared by something, you will always be scared by it. There are some people that are scared of a clown's face, but yet there are people that laugh at a clown's face. Frank, Eddie is saying that the street morale is low, and his morale is also low. Neil, tell him I'll pray for him. Let me talk to him. They switch over. Eddie, the reason why Kazemi and the CBI say that they are stopping the exchange rate of the dollar is because it's true, son. Listen to me. The CBI can only change the Iraqi dinar exchange rate, not the USD exchange rate. How many times have I told you that? But you seem to keep forgetting it. But the most important, Dr. Thunder. Dr. Thunder, thank you, sir. God bless you for your financial contribution. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you. But the most important reason, Eddie, why they are saying that is because there is no GOI. There is no GOI that represents Kazemi right now. There is no GOI that has been released yet. There is no GOI from the framework, only from Kazemi. And because you don't have Kazemi's GOI exposed yet, of course they put a stop to the exchange rate topic. It's not the time to talk about it because you don't have a government. Now take a deep breath and relax. Take a deep breath and relax. Actually, I think I need that advice. Okay. I'm fine with clowns, just says, as long as they're not poking their heads out of a gutter. Boy, I'm afraid of clowns that lower their voice and talk to me like this and say, "What's the matter with you, Jack?" "Yeah, man." That's a frightening clown. Frank, I just sent, and I'm waiting for his reaction on what you told him. Hopefully, it'll pick up his morale. Then, still Neil. Frank, Eddie says, after the CBI statement today, people just got depressed. Maybe they misunderstood it. He will tell them what you told him. The streets, unfortunately, are a rage. The streets, we know what that article said today. In turning now to CBI, would not be surprised if the CBI headquarters is not rated on by protesters. These protesters that are already protesting and saying that the CBI lies to the citizens. This has never happened before. It's catching us off guard. We trust the CBI. We trust Kazemi. We trust Sadr. Then I say to him, and that's the problem, Eddie. You just don't seem to understand what the CBI is trying to tell you. Hey, Jan.
Yes.
They're calling next door. Give me a second, family. Hey, guys, go ahead.
I'm Frank.
Hey, go ahead. I'm doing a broadcast, but I saw it was you. Are you okay?
Daisy had a stroke.
Who?
Daisy?
No,
Daisy died?
she had a stroke.
No, she's still alive.
Oh, my God.
She had a stroke.
Is she laying down?
Like, she can't stand up.
She can't?
No.
We will be done in about 10 minutes. Can I come over and just see her?
Sure.
Okay, I'll call you before we come over. Bye-bye.
Everything.
She's so young. When she had a stroke.
What?
She's not that old.
I know she's not that old. Give me a tissue. I'm just so tired. I'm tired of all this death around me. I'm sorry, family. I'm going to have to say goodbye. I'll speed it up to the very end. So he says, personally, I think all hell is about to break loose. The framework will fail, and Sadr is about to unleash us into the streets. We could have to take several steps backwards in order to move forward in what we want. I said, Eddie, there's nothing wrong with you fighting for Sadr, but only when he tells you, wait for his orders. And yes, it may take for the CBI citizens, for the Iraqi citizens. And yes, it may take for the Iraqi citizens to go into the streets and beat the living daylights out of the Iranian terrorists, so that they can show who's in control of their country. And who has the power of their leaders? By the way, Eddie, there are 2 articles on the subject of the CBI and the exchange rate. One of them makes it look like the CBI does not want a new exchange rate. But the wording is wrong. The CBI cannot change the dollar exchange rate. It can only change the dinar exchange rate. Now for the second article that is out, there is little there's a that for the second article that's out, it's a little bit more clear because it doesn't even mention the framework. And like I told you, Eddie, Sauder is ignoring the framework. They are scrambling, so desperate that you are now going to hear them say that they agree with Kazemi, that they agree with Sauder, that they agree with the Kurds. And you will hear them say, "Oh, please, don't ignore me. Oh, please, help us. Oh, please, don't kick us out of Iraq. Oh, please, please, let us be a part of your government." To which Sadr and Kazemi will say, "Oh, hell no." I want to thank you kindly for being with us. I want to thank you kindly for being with us. I want to thank you kindly for being with us. You all take care of each other, pray for each other, lift each other. I had more things here, but we'll talk about them later, okay? Well, yeah, we'll talk about all these files later. It's all good. You just gotta stay positive and don't let them discourage you. Pray for each other, love each other, okay? Okay. Y'all take care of each other. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
We just shut down the school right away.